Ethiopia, a nation of soaring highlands and shifting deserts, remains Africa's most independent land, where resilience and tradition continue unbroken across centuries of change. Across the KONSO cultural landscape, round huts cluster on hillsides and small gateways of branches mark entrances, preserving an ancient way of life still enduring. At Al, fire glows inside one of the few permanent lava lakes on Earth, a restless reminder of the planet's untamed inner forces. In Lalibela, vast rock-hewn churches descend into solid stone, creating a sacred city that has carried devotion and faith through more than 8 centuries. Together, these places reveal Ethiopia as a land where heritage and raw nature meet, inviting us to explore secrets carved deep into earth and spirit. DEBRE LIBANOS. A monastery rises on the highlands of Ethiopia, carved from dark basalt and tuff, standing clearly on the slopes overlooking the Gemma River Valley. Its stone walls and simple structures reflect centuries of careful construction, with worn edges and weathered surfaces marking the passage of time. Inside, the church opens into serene spaces with stone altars, carved benches, and narrow passageways where light and arrangement evoke centuries of devotion and ritual. The surrounding terrain features small cliffs and rocky outcrops, blending naturally with the monastery, while steps and courtyards connect the different levels harmoniously. For hundreds of years, DEBRE LIBANOS has served as a center of worship and pilgrimage, where monks study sacred texts, preserve ancient manuscripts, and perform daily rituals in this enduring spiritual hub. KONSO Cultural Landscape. A narrow dirt path winds slowly through the village, threading between hand-stacked stone walls on either side that rise high, standing like silent guardians of each household. Round thatched huts stand close together, their walls carefully built from stone and mud, with entrances marked by small wooden branch gates that are both simple and remarkably sturdy. Small open courtyards lie between the huts, creating intimate spaces where neighbors meet, talk, and move about, defining the rhythm of daily village life. Upright wooden ritual posts rise at key points, marking communal areas where ceremonies and gatherings are held, reflecting the social and spiritual traditions of the Konso people. For over 400 years, this arrangement of homes, walls, and ritual posts has been maintained, creating a living village that harmonizes naturally with Ethiopia's dry, rugged highlands. DEBRE BIRHAN SELASSIE. Perched on the highlands of Gondar, DEBRE BIRHAN SELASSIE sits amidst gentle hills, its robust structure rising prominently from the surrounding open landscape. Constructed from local basalt stone and natural mortar, the church features thick walls and sturdy foundations, preserving its form through centuries of weather and time. Inside, vibrant murals cover ceilings and walls, depicting angels with wide-open eyes, biblical scenes, and sacred figures that illuminate the spiritual atmosphere. Built in the 17th century, the church served as a major religious center under the Gondar dynasty, combining architectural skill with rich Ethiopian artistic tradition. Gondar. Set high on the Ethiopian highlands at more than 7,000 feet, Gondar overlooks rugged hills and valleys stretching toward the distant Simeon Mountains. Stone walls and tall towers rise inside the royal enclosure, a fortress complex built by Emperor Fasilides in the 17th century as his imperial capital. The castles combine solid basalt blocks with carved details, blending local craftsmanship with influences from Portuguese, Indian, and regional architectural traditions. Inside the compound, open courtyards and arched halls reveal the scale of royal life, from administrative chambers to ceremonial gathering spaces. Nearby, churches and monasteries add layers of devotion, with frescoes, manuscripts, and liturgical objects preserved through centuries of religious practice. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Gondar stands as a rare African example of medieval-style stone castles uniting history, architecture, and enduring cultural heritage.
WUKRO CHIRKOS.
A single rock-hewn church stands on a slightly raised area of the highlands, carved from reddish-brown basalt and tuff, rising clearly above the surrounding landscape. Its walls are simple yet sturdy, with carved edges and subtle weathering, reflecting centuries of careful craftsmanship by the local community. The open ground around the church reveals layers of hardened volcanic rock and tuff, showing the geological foundation and ancient formation of the highland terrain. Inside, the church opens into a serene space with simple areas for prayer and reflection, where the arrangement of stone and light evokes centuries of devotion. For hundreds of years, this historic church has served as a center of worship, preserving a remarkable example of Ethiopia's enduring rock-hewn religious architecture. MERKATO. Spanning the heart of Addis Ababa, MERKATO forms one of Africa's largest open-air markets, weaving narrow alleys and bustling streets into a vibrant urban maze. The flat terrain hosts countless stalls, constructed from wood, metal, and temporary tarps, creating a dense network of shops selling goods from food to textiles. Founded in the early 20th century, MERKATO has grown into a central hub for trade, connecting diverse local communities and reflecting Ethiopia's rich cultural tapestry. With thousands of vendors and constant activity, the market pulses with energy, offering an immersive experience into the city's economy, traditions, and daily life. Harar. Perched on the highlands of eastern Ethiopia, Harar spreads across rolling hills, its dense urban fabric weaving tightly between the surrounding valleys. The old city is a labyrinth of narrow alleys and compact houses, framed by thick defensive walls that rise sharply from the streets below. Constructed from local stone, mud, and timber, the buildings showcase reddish-brown facades and weathered textures, reflecting centuries of adaptation to the highland terrain. Founded in the 14th century, Harar became a vibrant hub for trade and Islamic scholarship, with mosques, mausoleums, and ritual spaces dotting the urban core. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the city stands out for its unique alleyways, fortified gates, and enduring traditions, offering a living glimpse into Ethiopia's cultural history. Yeha. Rising from the dry highlands of northern Ethiopia, Yeha presents massive stone walls built from carefully cut sandstone blocks that fit without mortar. The structure, known as the Great Temple, shows straight vertical faces and precise corners, giving a sense of durability that has lasted for millennia. Inside, the remaining pillars and open chambers suggest an ordered space, once used for ceremonies, with proportions reflecting both function and symbolic meaning. The surrounding plateau holds traces of foundations and later monasteries, linking the temple to layers of settlement and adaptation over centuries. Recognized as Ethiopia's oldest standing stone monument, Yeha connects the present landscape to the ancient kingdom of Dumt and its enduring architectural legacy. Omo River. The Omo River stretches for nearly 470 miles across southern Ethiopia, beginning in the Ethiopian highlands and winding south toward Kenya's Lake Turkana basin. Small villages line the river, where round houses are built from wood and mud, topped with thatched roofs of straw that gleam in the sun. These clustered homes form enclosed compounds, showing a pattern of settlement that has remained steady for centuries along the riverbanks. Layers of volcanic ash and sediment preserved in the valley provide rare evidence of early human life, linking this landscape to human origins. Families of the Mursi, Hama, and Karo live here, with daily activities and rituals unfolding beside the thatched houses and shaded yards. Recognized as part of the UNESCO World Heritage listed Lower Omo Valley, the river remains central to science, history, and the living traditions of its people. Lalibela. A single monolithic church emerges from the red-brown highland rock, carved downward into the earth, with its roof level slightly below the surrounding courtyard. Its exterior walls are sculpted from solid stone, simple yet sturdy, revealing centuries of craftsmanship by the Zagwe dynasty. The open space around the sunken church shows layers of hardened volcanic rock and tuff, hinting at the region's geological history. Positioned within a square courtyard, the church is embraced by vertical cliff walls, creating a dramatic, recessed structure visible from above. For over 800 years, this underground, rock-hewn church has served as a center of worship, preserving a remarkable example of Ethiopia's enduring religious architecture. Erta Ale. A dark, jagged volcanic ridge rises from the Danakil Depression, its summit constantly shrouded in heat and shimmering gases that blur the horizon. The caldera spreads widely, filled with molten lava lakes glowing bright orange against black basalt walls, reflecting the volcano's relentless, almost continuous activity. Thick layers of cooled lava form ridges and terraces around the crater, revealing centuries of eruptions and the slow reshaping of the surrounding landscape. Plumes of smoke and steam drift across the summit, while hardened lava tubes and jagged spires hint at the volcano's fiery, enduring history. For generations, scientists and explorers have visited the site, studying its eruptions and extreme environment while observing one of Ethiopia's most remarkable geological formations. Sophomar Caves. Deep within southeastern Ethiopia lies Soph Omar Caves, a vast underground system formed by the Web River cutting through layers of ancient limestone over countless centuries. Inside, the passages stretch with towering arches and winding tunnels, where natural limestone pillars stand like columns, supporting immense halls of darkness. The cave chambers reveal hidden sanctuaries with narrow walkways and open caverns, their shapes carved by the persistent flow of underground water. Small openings above filter streams of light, creating shifting patterns on the stone floor, while echoing water sounds travel through the vast hollow spaces. For centuries, this cave complex has been revered as both a natural wonder and a sacred site, central to spiritual traditions and local history.
Yemrahana Christos.
Nestled within a limestone cave high in the northern Ethiopian mountains, Yemrahana Christos combines alternating layers of wood and stone firmly embedded in the rocky walls. The timber beams interlock precisely with the stone, forming geometric patterns that contrast naturally with the rugged cliff face enclosing the church. Inside, carved pillars and a modest altar define the space, while faint painted decorations hint at centuries of devoted ritual practice. The cave chamber extends behind the church, containing burial spaces and relics that mark the site as both a sanctuary and sacred resting place. Dating back to the 12th century, the church demonstrates the ingenuity of medieval Ethiopian architecture, blending local materials and construction techniques adapted to the cave environment. Its enduring significance lies in the combination of geological uniqueness, historical architecture, and centuries-old religious traditions, making it a remarkable site for study and pilgrimage. Blue Nile Falls. The Blue Nile Falls descends in powerful cascades about 150 feet high, its mist rising above the valley near Bahir Dar in northern Ethiopia. Carved into volcanic basalt, the river breaks into several streams during the rainy season, creating veils of spray that blanket the cliffs and surrounding fields. The dark stone beneath the rushing water shows deep erosion, forming rough ledges that scatter the flow into foaming torrents, visible from a long distance. Locally known as Tis Isat, or water that smokes, the site has long been tied to pilgrim routes and remains a symbol of fertility and strength. Today, it stands as one of Ethiopia's most dramatic natural landmarks, where the roar of the falls echoes across the highlands and sustains a rich bird life nearby. Simeon Mountains. Rising from the northern Ethiopian highlands, the Simeon Mountains stretch across vast terrain, with jagged peaks and deep valleys shaping a dramatic and rugged landscape. Towering cliffs and steep escarpments dominate the skyline, while plateaus and rolling grasslands intermingle with narrow gorges, offering diverse habitats for flora and fauna. The geology consists primarily of ancient basalt and volcanic rock, with occasional granite outcrops sculpted over millennia by erosion and natural forces. Home to endemic species such as gelada monkeys and walia ibex, the park combines unique biodiversity with striking vistas that attract ecologists and nature enthusiasts alike. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Simeon Mountains exemplify both natural grandeur and conservation significance, preserving Ethiopia's highland ecosystems for future generations. Fasil Gebi. Located on the highlands of Gondar, Fasil Gebi spreads across flat terrain, with fortified walls enclosing royal palaces and open courtyards that define the complex. The expansive grounds feature broad plazas, stone staircases, and interconnected buildings, creating a structured layout that reflects meticulous planning and royal authority. Constructed from local basalt stone combined with natural mortar, the walls and towers have withstood centuries, showcasing both durability and architectural skill. Built during the 16th and 17th centuries, the complex served as the political and ceremonial center for the Gondar dynasty, housing palaces, churches, and defensive structures. Blending indigenous Ethiopian styles with Portuguese, Arab, and Indian influences, Fasil Gebi stands out for its monumental palaces, wide courtyards, and recognition as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Awash River. Flowing eastward across Ethiopia, the Awash River cuts through high plateaus and deep valleys before disappearing into desert lowlands, shaping landscapes along its long, winding course. Its upper stretches pass volcanic highlands and fertile plains where dark basalt formations and nutrient-rich soils reveal the region's active geological history. The Middle Valley holds gorges and hot springs bordered by acacia woodlands that support grazing lands and pastoral communities who have depended on the river for centuries. Though it never reaches the sea, the river ends in saline lakes and marshes, creating unusual wetlands amid otherwise dry and harsh surroundings. Long celebrated in Ethiopia's history, the Awash River remains both a cultural heartland and a vital ecological corridor binding together highlands, deserts, wildlife, and people. Lake Hawassa. Lake Hawassa rests within Ethiopia's Rift Valley, a broad freshwater lake surrounded by rolling hills and open plains shaped by ancient tectonic shifts. Its expansive surface remains calm and reflective, with slender fishing boats drifting slowly while clouds and light shadows move steadily across. Along the shoreline, tall reed beds stand beside open clearings where local communities gather daily for fishing, trading, and simple routines. Bird life is abundant here, from pelicans and herons to countless smaller species, filling the air with movement and echoing sounds. At sunset, the horizon stretches wide in golden and silver bands, spreading slowly across the still, glassy waters of the lake. Hawassa endures as both a natural sanctuary and a cultural gathering point, linking surrounding communities with the life of the Rift Valley. Danakil Depression. Situated in northeastern Ethiopia near the borders of Eritrea and Djibouti, the Danakil Depression lies at one of the lowest and hottest points on the African continent. The terrain is extremely harsh, featuring salt flats, volcanic cones, lava fields, and hot springs that stretch across a vast and desolate landscape. Basanic rock formations and active volcanic features dominate the area, with mineral-rich soils creating vibrant colors on the surface of the depression. Hot springs and sulfuric pools bubble in isolated pockets, forming acidic lakes and steaming vents that reveal ongoing geological activity beneath the crust. Home to the nomadic Afar people for centuries, the region preserves traditional lifestyles while also attracting scientists and explorers fascinated by its extreme environment. Renowned as one of the most inhospitable places on Earth, the Danakil Depression combines vivid geological phenomena with dramatic vistas, offering an unforgettable glimpse into nature's raw power. African Union Headquarters. Located in the heart of Addis Ababa, the African Union Headquarters rises amid flat, open grounds, with spacious pathways guiding visitors toward the modern complex. The crescent-shaped building features a prominent green dome and sleek glass facades, reflecting contemporary design while symbolizing African unity across the continent. Inside, the main assembly hall showcases tiered seating, polished wood panels, and advanced audio-visual systems hosting dignitaries and facilitating high-level continental meetings. As a symbol of continental unity, the headquarters stands as a central hub for diplomacy, governance, and collaborative efforts shaping Africa's shared future. Church of Our Lady, Mary of Zion. Situated on the highlands of Aksum, the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion rests on flat terrain, with open courtyards and paths guiding visitors toward the sacred site. Built from local basalt stone, its walls are thick and sturdy, reflecting centuries of resilience while maintaining a sense of solemnity. And architectural simplicity. Inside, the church is revered as the guardian of the Ark of the Covenant, offering a spiritual center for centuries of Ethiopian worship and pilgrimage. The surrounding grounds include auxiliary chapels and spaces for ritual gatherings, emphasizing the church's role as both religious and communal hub. As one of Ethiopia's most sacred landmarks, It combines historical significance, spiritual heritage, and a quiet dignity that resonates through its austere, enduring structure. Awash National Park. Located in Ethiopia's Great Rift Valley, Awash National Park stretches across dry savannas and volcanic landscapes defined by the winding course of the Awash River. Its terrain blends open grasslands, acacia woodlands, lava fields, and deep gorges, offering a striking contrast between rugged geology and life-rich habitats. Hot springs bubble near ancient volcanic cones, while escarpments and cliffs reveal layers of basalt that tell stories of powerful eruptions from the distant past. The park shelters diverse wildlife, including oryx, kudu, baboons, crocodiles, and over 400 bird species thriving along wetlands and floodplains. As one of Ethiopia's earliest protected areas, Awash National Park remains a living mosaic where geology, wildlife, and culture converge in a singular natural landscape. Ras Dashen. Rising above 14,900 feet, Ras Dashen is Ethiopia's highest peak, with sharp cliffs and volcanic slopes dominating the northern highlands. The terrain alternates between steep ridges and plateaus, carved over ages by basalt flows and constant erosion from wind and seasonal rains. Its summit and surrounding slopes host rare wildlife, including walia ibex, gelada baboons, and Ethiopian wolves unique to the highlands. Known as the Roof of Ethiopia, Ras Dashen represents both a natural landmark and the resilience of life at extreme elevations. Liwond National Park. Located along the Shire River in southern Malawi, Liwond National Park spreads across lowlands with winding riverbanks, open plains, and pockets of forest, creating a diverse wildlife habitat. The terrain features sandy soil and clay patches, with marshes and small wooded areas interspersed among open grasslands, providing natural corridors for animals and birds. Herds of elephants and groups of hippos move through the park, while crocodiles lie along river edges, and numerous bird species populate the wetlands. Established in 1973, the park reflects Malawi's ongoing conservation efforts, preserving endangered species and supporting sustainable wildlife tourism. Preserving endangered species and supporting sustainable wildlife tourism. With its combination of river landscapes, dense vegetation, and thriving fauna, Liwonde offers a vivid safari experience and a glimpse into southern Africa's natural richness. Tarkwa Bay. A sheltered bay lies just off the coast of Lagos, where Tarkwa Bay stretches with calm waters protected by long breakwaters built during colonial harbor construction. The shoreline unfolds with soft golden sand, scattered shells, and flat open ground behind, making the beach appear wide and gentle against the Atlantic. Concrete wave barriers and anchored vessels mark the boundary, while fishermen's small boats move quietly between the port structures and the open sea. Nearby, a modest community relies on fishing and small trade, showing how the bay has become both a home and a shared gathering place. Over time, Tarkwa Bay has stood out as one of Lagos's safest beaches, combining human engineering with a natural setting to create its distinct character. Salonga National Park. Spanning the heart of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Salonga National Park covers the largest continuous tropical rainforest in Africa, crisscrossed by rivers and seasonal wetlands. The terrain consists of low-lying plains with dense vegetation, interspersed with swamps and meandering channels that create a complex network of habitats for diverse wildlife. The soil is rich in basalt and alluvial deposits, supporting thick layers of organic matter that nourish towering trees and sustain a dense, multi-layered forest canopy. Established in 1956, the park preserves both ecological and cultural heritage, including the traditional practices of local pygmy communities who rely on forest resources. Home to critically endangered species such as bonobos and forest elephants, Salonga combines vast, untouched landscapes with rare biodiversity, making it a globally significant conservation area. Lake Retba. Nestled along the coast of Senegal, Lake Retba shimmers with a striking pink hue, its shallow waters reflecting sunlight across the salt-encrusted surface. The lake's terrain is mostly flat, with gentle banks and salt flats surrounding the water, forming natural geometric patterns visible from above. High salinity levels allow salt to crystallize on the surface, creating a sparkling landscape where local workers harvest salt using simple wooden tools. Nearby, the contrasting deep blue of the Atlantic Ocean lies just beyond the pink waters, highlighting the lake's unusual color and unique natural setting. Lake Retba has long been both a natural wonder and economic resource, its vivid hue attracting visitors while sustaining local communities through traditional salt collection. Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park. Jagged limestone pinnacles rise across western Madagascar, forming a vast stone forest that stretches toward the horizon near the Manambolo River Valley. The terrain is cut by deep gorges and narrow canyons, with towering cliffs that create a labyrinth of sharp ridges and hidden passageways. Its geology dates back to the Jurassic era, where ancient limestone was dissolved by rainwater, leaving behind razor-edged spires and underground caves. Scattered pockets of dry, deciduous forest cling to the rock, sheltering unique wildlife, including lemurs, rare birds, and reptiles found only in Madagascar. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1990, the park also holds cultural meaning for local communities through long-standing traditions and beliefs. Standing among these formations, one encounters a natural fortress of stone where geology, ecology, and history combine in one of Earth's rarest landscapes. Lake Turkana. Lake Turkana stretches across northern Kenya, an immense inland sea formed by the Rift Valley with barren volcanic ridges standing starkly around its vast waters. Its surface glows in shifting shades of green and blue, contrasting with the dry desert terrain and rocky lava fields that press close to its edges. Known as the largest desert lake on Earth, Turkana serves as both a geological landmark and a vital resource for surrounding communities and wildlife.